Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. I'm Michael Taylor, and I can definitively say it is Saturday because I'm at the desk. Where else would I be on a Saturday but right here with you guys? And we've got a great show for you as well. Hope you enjoyed your July 4th. Hope you enjoyed your holidays, and we're back to work here. And we want to tell, we're going to be clowning around a little bit with Cirque du Soleil's Duncan Cameron. He's one of the lead clowns of the show over in Laguna Hills Mall parking lot. The big tents up there, if you've driven by, you've seen it. It's a fantastic show. We're going to be talking to him all about what it's like to work with these amazing performers, and he is one of them. Then later in the program, it's ice cream social time. Thrive's teamed up with Memorial Care to bring us an ice cream social again this summer. Diana Boland's going to be telling us all about the event and how we can get involved in it. And speaking of ice cream, you know what? It's time for talk about Stay Informed, and you can bring the kids down to the pool, and there's going to be ice cream there too. Summer splash days are back. Invite the grandkids down on either July 19th or August 16th, or both. Why not? It's going to be $5 admission for the kids. 2 and under are free. Admission includes ice cream. There's going to be water slides, games, all sorts of fun stuff. You have to pick up the wristbands, though, over Clubhouse 2 or the rec office, so make sure you get down there with that $5 for each of the kiddos that you're going to bring down there. You can call them or email them for more information. It's bring your own food and other stuff, and otherwise it's going to be a great time. Nothing more fun than bringing the grandkids down to the pool in the summer, so make sure you get your reservation in for that. Get those wristbands today. And speaking of great weather for swimming and sun and fun, we've got some great weather. I'm telling you, it's nice, 80-degree temperatures all through the weekend and into next week. We got very warm days. We got maybe a little bit of return of the marine layer, just a little bit on Monday, but otherwise really fantastic weather for us. So 80s all week is what we're going to be looking at for the foreseeable future. Let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset while we're at it. And it is a gorgeous one. We got Cole Young sent us this picture from Dana Point. Thank you, Cole. He does sports. He does behind the scenes stuff. He does it all here at the station. And he's a great photographer, so thanks for that shot, Cole. Our sunrise this morning was 5:47. Sunset tonight is going to be 8:04. If you'd like to send us a picture just like Cole did, go ahead and do that. Email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we will use it on our sunrise sunset segment. All right, when we come back, we'll be clowning around with Duncan Cameron from Cirque du Soleil. Stay with us.
The Salvation Army Orange County is committed to building hope in people's lives rather than just more shelters. The Center of Hope, a comprehensive homeless care solution, combines a 325-bed emergency shelter, 72 permanent supportive housing apartments, on-site medical, dental, vision, and mental health care, and an award-winning drug and alcohol rehabilitation center. Donate today to transform lives, create safer neighborhoods, and provide an opportunity to end chronic homelessness in Orange County.
Cirque du Soleil presents Kuza, an adrenaline rush of acrobatics in a zany kingdom of characters. Kuza opens June 8th under the Big Top at Laguna Hills Mall. Kuza thanks its official partner, Air Canada. Save up to 25% on bookings of 10 or more. Tickets on sale at cirquedusoleil.com.
And welcome back. It's time to run away and go to the circus, I think. And Cirque du Soleil Kuza is in town, and we want to welcome Duncan Cameron to our program.
Hello,
One of
what's going
the
on?
featured performers in the program.
I'm featured very heavily. In fact, you can't ever miss me. I'm like on the stage the whole time.
Yeah, if you're not seeing you, you're hearing you. You guys are loud too, and it's a heck of a show. I got to see the show a couple weeks ago, and it's really. It's frenetic. It is going on, right? It's nonstop kind of a feel. What's that like for you to be part of a show like this?
I mean, personally, I love shows where I'm really, really active. I don't like to go off stage and sit down and twiddle my thumbs. I want to be alive and active. I think it's really important as being a clown is like just keeping that energy going and up. And But yeah, it is sweaty business. It is very sweaty business. As clowns, I've never had to run so much in my life.
Yeah, you guys are running. So for folks who don't know, Cirque has been going on for many, many years, and there's variations of. There's Vegas ones, there's ones that tour. You guys are in the touring show, and this is a new one called Kuza. Tell me a little bit about the background of Kuza and what it's all about.
Well, Kuza, yeah, actually, it's interesting. Kuza's got 17 years to it, actually. This is the 17th year of Kuza, so it's actually relatively an old show. There are older shows, like Miss Dare's 30 years old or something like this. But yeah, Kuza's great because it's sort of an homage to traditional circus. So it's got a lot of traditional circus flair with Cirque du Soleil's contemporary artistic fling, you know. So it's a really beautiful show. It's really exciting. You've got all the traditional circus ways of performing and shooting out all these tricks. Bam! It's amazing. And then there's story to it as well, and obviously you see the costumes and the aesthetic. It's just got Cirque du Soleil all over it.
Yeah, it definitely has a story that runs through. This little boy in the park trying to fly his kite at first, and then this magical box shows up, and all of a sudden the magic really starts to happen, and we have this people kind of guiding him through these experiences and that whole thing. What's it like for you to go out there? I mean, this is exhausting, and you're doing this many, many nights a week.
I mean, honestly, the audience give me the energy.
Okay.
When the audience are there, it's hard to, even if I'm super exhausted and my body's wrecked and I'm tired at the end of the week, but I go out there and in front of the audience, like you find that energy. You see the energy of the people, the excitement of the kids' eyes. You know, everybody's so excited. It's that nostalgia feeling going into a circus tent. You know, there's something about that whole experience going inside and everybody's in this communal tent and the show starts and you can just see the energy starts getting, you know, starts fizzling. And then my job is to try to hype up the crowd a little bit. I go out 10 minutes before the show and I start messing around. I start playing with the audience and meeting everybody. And that's when everybody really starts focusing in and everybody knows that they're in a communal space. And it's really hard not to be excited about that.
Well, you're very excited about it. You're born in Canada and you live in the UK. When did you know you wanted to run away and be part of the circus? How did it all start for you?
It's sort of, I mean, yeah, it's interesting for me because growing up, my older brother, he's 12 years older than me, but he was doing clowning since I was
Really?
such a young kid. Yeah, I was about 5 or 6 when he started wearing a red nose and doing all that sort of stuff. So I kind of grew up watching him doing clowning, and then he went to an arts high school where he was doing improv, and then he went overseas to study with a famous French clown teacher in Paris. So
now, are there still clown colleges kind of thing? Are they still out there?
Oh, they are exploding in popularity.
Really? Okay.
There's so many now. In fact, clowning is becoming the hip new thing.
And that's not a joke. There really are clown colleges. I don't want people to think I'm making a joke about that.
You can go take classes yourself.
Enroll today.
Oh yeah, and especially down here in LA, there's a lot of famous clowns here that you know. My peer group that I really look up to, they've got their own Netflix specials and things like that. They're voiceover actors for cartoons and stuff like this. But yeah, so I followed my brother, who also did Cirque du Soleil. He was in Kuza briefly for the past couple cities, and I was performing with him recently, so that was super cool. And then yeah, that's sort of how I fell into circus in a way.
Now, are there different kind of pathways you can take? Is there more physical clowning, or is there more animation, or working with the crowd? Are there different areas you can?
Oh, there's so many different kinds of clowns, right? Like there's for me, I was always more of like a theater clown, perhaps. Like I was more doing clowning in theater, which also led me to street theater. Street theater sort of leads to circus, but you can find different styles of clowning in all of these different places. There's even like, you know, hospital clowning where they go into hospitals, and there's a very sensitive area where, you know, they're a lot more gentle. They wouldn't wouldn't maybe be doing the same stuff that we're doing in the circus, right?
It's a little much.
So, but there's so many different styles of clowning now, and I mean, there always has been, but it's becoming more and more popular to study these things. And you can do physical theater. They all sort of lead into the same family, so it's really interesting.
So where did you get your very first start in this? Well, I know like you said, your brother was doing it, and you obviously were inspired by that.
My first start. This is my first show, Kuza with Cirque du Soleil.
Very first. Okay.
With
What-
Cirque du Soleil.
were you doing it beforehand though?
I've been clowning my whole career. Yeah, so I've been
Okay.
for the past 15 years. I've been clowning and doing strange things for a living. But I have a theater company in England where I live. So I live over there, and I've been creating a lot of kind of alternative cabaret and clowning shows. The inherently what makes it clowning is that I'm playing with the audience, or
Right.
I'm extra aware of the audience. I'm not saying text and ignoring the audience. I'm there looking at the audience and sometimes improvising with them.
Okay.
So yeah, that's for me where that line.
And is Kuza something something you applied for, or you just kind of were there open auditions? How does that work?
The process is massive because
Okay.
timelines in big scale circus is a lot longer. The contracts are like a year minimum to 2 years. So I applied 8-9 years ago in a general audition. I had to send a video just to be in the audition, the physical
Wow,
audition.
okay.
So it was a video, and then I went into the live audition. There was 40 people, and they were cutting as they were going throughout the day, so it was a long day. And I was one of 2 people that got a little slip of paper that said, I'm on their database. And Cirque's database only means that I will be allowed to get other casting opportunities. So they would send me
Okay.
more auditions, and I would audition for this part.
Oh, wow.
And I had to turn down a couple of ones because it didn't work with my life at the time. I would have had to, I would have had to cancel my wedding, for example. I would have gotten in trouble for that one. So let's skip that one. But I'm really happy that Kuza has been my first introduction into the Cirque du Soleil world because honestly, it's such a beautiful show. I'm super happy to be here.
And how do you feel like you're an artist, but you're also an entertainer and a kind of comedian and all those kind of things? How do you combine the art of it with the clowning and the fun?
It's interesting. I mean, sometimes I forget how many skill sets that I'm using in our act because I'm doing sound effects. I'm trying to manage audience members on the stage. We have volunteer work, so I have to really be able to read my audience sometimes if I'm going close to them. So I would say a lot of the artistry is in the skill set that I'm using when I'm performing that is really invisible to a lot of the audience members. They don't really realize that how much I'm actually doing in terms of spacing and trying to there's 3 of us clowns on the stage at any time, and if anybody starts to improvise or changes something or starts to do something, I have to balance the stage and try to make sure that everything's sort of working cohesively so the audience understand where to look, when to look, where's the joke, when to laugh, sort of thing, because otherwise it gets a bit messy. So it's actually there's a lot of I would say artistry or skill sets going on behind the goofiness.
So when you're not doing your stuff, what would you say is the thing you've watched the most? To say, oh man, I'm always impressed by when these guys are on. I'm always watching.
Oh, I mean, it's really hard because I'm
Putting you on the spot.
I'm working with.
You have to work with these people and say, why wasn't I your favorite?
No, you know what? It's just every day. I don't take them for granted, because I work with Greek goddesses and gods. They're all so perfect. All these human beings they're so talented. So sometimes you go, oh, you know what? That act was it's maybe not my favorite. But then when I see them training backstage, I notice the amount of craft that's going into it and the amount of skill and strength. So honestly, it fluctuates for me because I'm like, wow, that handstand guy, holy moly, look at those abs. It's very impressive to look at.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't take it. Then you start looking at the tissue, the silks, the lady that is our area.
Yes. That's so beautiful.
She's amazing, and the amount of strength that she has. Every so often she tells me just to hang on her silks, just to hold, and the amount of grip strength that you need just to hang on some tissue, I can barely last 30 seconds. I start it's amazing.
It's an incredible show, and folks can go see it. It's still over in the Laguna Hills Mall parking lot for a little while longer. Make sure you get out there. It is an amazing show. I've seen it. A great performer here in Duncan Cameron. And Duncan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
There you go.
Perfect.
Thanks, Duncan.
See you soon, everybody.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
You know, Maxine, I'm worried about Jennifer.
Why?
Well, it seems like ever since she moved here, she's just been stuck.
Stuck?
I mean, I think all she does is sit in her house and watch TV.
What if you offer to go with her to something?
It doesn't work. We like different things.
Well, how about if you find out what her favorite activities are and offer to go with her to one of those activities?
I'll give it a try.
I want to welcome Diana Boland to the program, and she is with Thrive. It's not really a club, it's kind of an entity that we've kind of discussed just a second ago, but it's a great addition to the community here in terms of getting people out and about and in community, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Thrive wants everyone here to have an experience of joy.
Mm-hmm. And do you know what the origin of Thrive was? How did it all start? What was the impetus of the idea? Do you really know?
No,
been around
I don't
just-
really. I mean, I've been there for about 18 months. I think Thrive has been in existence for maybe 10 years.
Okay.
And started out with the idea of a very few. I think Beth Patak was one of those. And if I'm not giving somebody else credit, I apologize. Again, I'm kind of a newbie, but
Yeah. It was called Thrive in the Community for a little while. Now it's just called Thrive. And
Yes.
It's what's kind of evolved a little bit in terms of its mission. But what do you think its core mission is?
joy.
Yeah?
Joy, just bringing joy and connection. I shouldn't say just. I mean,
Yeah.
joy and connection. Those are two things that help with longevity.
Now, do you think folks move into a community like this, and maybe they don't really get the sense that it's community based? Like you get what you put into it a little bit, right?
Correct.
Like
Absolutely.
it doesn't just come to you. So that's what Thrive is all about. Like, hey, get out there, explore, and discover the folks that are out there.
Yes, and make it free to explore. Make it with the goodies like ice cream to
Yes.
explore and information.
Yes, and that leads us to our segment here that we're talking about. You guys have the ice cream social coming up. You love to do this every summer, and it's coming up on the 15th of July.
Yippee! I love ice cream.
So tell us a little about Memorial Care's involvement and how you guys kind of plan these things out.
Well, we usually start planning maybe 3 months in advance. And we are grateful to have Memorial Care Saddleback helping us with the expenses. We'll have the OC ice cream truck on premises, and we will be taking reservations for the event. Without a reservation, people cannot have ice cream.
Oh, come on.
No,
What happened to all that joy we were talking about a second ago?
well, we also need a little organization because people will be unhappy if they get there and there isn't any ice cream left.
That's true. That's true.
Yes.
It's a little enough for everybody.
Yes. So I don't think I answered your question though. So I mean, the idea is to get people together, help them to socialize, and also to help them see possibilities as far as what's available in the community, as well as get valuable information from Saddleback Memorial Care.
Right. Now, do you think folks are kind of surprised sometimes about just how many clubs and how many groups and how many activities there are for everybody out here?
Yes. In fact, I think that if people, in fact, I have a new neighbor and he doesn't get the globe, and without the globe, you really can't understand what all is going on here. I mean, this helps. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Yes.
I think we're a little bit a part of that.
Yes, absolutely. But I think it is an incredibly overwhelming experience if you're aware of it. But if you're not, you're just in your unit and you're kind of like floating around trying to figure out what there is to do here.
Now, you guys were recently featured in the Globe, right?
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you for that. Yep. We are on page 9 of this week's Globe.
Okay, terrific. Talk a little bit about what you do and what the organization is all about.
Yes. And it gives you information about the phone number to call for RSVP for the ice cream.
Oh, that's important too. Yeah, we have that on the screen a little bit with the flyer you guys gave out. So calling Senior Advocate Jessica and make sure you get your reservation in there for the ice cream social on the 15th.
Yes.
When you guys go about planning events and doing things, what is like the does it evolve as you go? Okay, we've done this, now we want to go to this next level, or things like that?
Well, we try to do 3 events a year, but that doesn't limit us to other events that we might choose to do. So it's kind of an ongoing brainstorming that goes on in the meetings. And in fact, right now we're brainstorming about hearing aids. And how we might help people in the community who cannot afford hearing aids to get hearing aids. And the first step is a test to get the hearing tested. So that idea just came from one of our members getting hearing aids. I already have mine. And it's, it really can make a difference. Socially, it can make a difference, just functioning everyday life. But there is either a resistance to hearing aids because of vanity, or else people can't afford them. So this is probably going to be our next initiative.
And the latter one's an important one too. Like sometimes, I think the vanity, I like to think, I don't know for sure, but I like to think the vanity part is going away a little bit because they're not as obtrusive as they used to be. They're not these giant, blobs sitting at the end of the earth. They're so microscopic sometimes you don't even notice people are wearing them.
Yes.
But there is that barrier to entry sometimes in terms of financial people who are on really tight budgets. I can see where that would be a big bonus for folks.
Yes. So we're hoping to work with the social services and also with the foundation to be able to make hearing aids affordable for a select group of people.
And one of the things, like you say, Thrive is about joy. And when people are isolated and they feel like they don't want to do social events or they don't want to go out there because they can't hear in group settings, that can be one of the things that prevents them from thriving and having that joy, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly correct.
So I love the idea that you guys are thinking in those terms in terms of how can we get people who are feeling that way kind of back into the fold.
Yes. Because really this community, and I don't mean just Thrive, I mean all of Laguna Woods, is really a group of very warm-hearted, good people. And I think, once you realize that, it might be easier to get out into the community and just say hi, like we all do walking along Aliso Creek. I'm always saying hi to people. People are always saying hi to me. It's just a wonderful experience.
And that's true. I mean, there's so many clubs and there's so many things that anything you like can be found somehow, somewhere in Laguna Woods Village, whether it's woodworking or golf or riding horses or whatever it might be, painting, music, theater, that's all there. So those little things are just getting people out there and finding that joy in doing those things.
Yes, and you can build your own community. I mean, there are these sub-communities out there, and when I first arrived, I went to the Equestrian Center and had a community there, which I still maintain. And then gradually I expanded to what I really love, which is television.
There we go. And that's the thing. I think all these clubs are really about, at their core, they're not about the thing they do, but they're about community within that group.
Yes. Shared interests and support and working together. And I think, again, Thrive is about working together to create joyous results.
What do you get out of Thrive? Do you love it when you see the results? Do you love the community that you've built within Thrive and those kinds of things?
Well, I am actually, believe it or not, kind of shy, introverted.
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, I know. My dad was kind of in show business, and he was like, get out there. So for me, Thrive was a safe place to explore working with a larger group.
Okay. And I think it's definitely working in terms of doing that. The Healthy Hearing Initiative, where are you guys in that process? Do you have any dates in the future? Do you think that you might have something coming up in the fall? I know you're doing your summer now.
Yeah. No, we're just I'd say about 30% there right now.
So it's one of those things you're working out and maybe
get
folks.
Yes.
So we'll hear more about that.
You sure will, and I'm very excited about that.
Okay. When it comes down to Thrive, what do you think people really need to understand about just getting out there and doing that? What are some of the barriers, and what are the things that you try to tell folks to get out and be involved?
Okay, first I'll be abrupt and say, get over yourself, all right? There's nobody here, or hardly anybody here, that's gonna make you feel bad. So it's about, can you just get out and say hi? That's all, say hi. Say, I'm new here. And I think from there, you will find people just eager to help you feel at home.
Well, we're going to give folks one more opportunity to go out there and say hi and get out there and get over themselves. July 15th, it's going to be the Thrive Summer Social Event. There's going to be ice cream. You do need to RSVP. Numbers right there on the screen to make sure you do that. And we want to thank Diana very much from Thrive for coming in and talking to us today.
Yummy.
Yummy ice cream. Don't miss it. You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
At Motion Drip, we believe in proactive wellness. Our IV therapy is designed to give you the well-being you deserve. With increased vitamin absorption directly into your bloodstream, it will replenish your body with hydration and nutrients to support your body's functions, increase energy levels, slow signs of aging, improve muscle recovery, and boost stamina. We are located right outside of Gate 8 on Moulton Parkway. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your appointment today, as we will be your proactive partner in wellness.
And welcome back. Before we go, we want to talk about the Saturday movie, and it's a great one. I actually remember seeing this back in 2004 in the theaters. It's Miracle. It is about the U.S. men's ice hockey team, whose gold medal victory in 1980 Winter Olympics over the heavily favored and seasoned Soviet team was dubbed the Miracle on Ice. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles, 6 p.m. without the subtitles, and we are brought to us by Providence Mission Hospital. So that's a great movie. It's a fun one. Make sure you catch that one. I loved it, and I'll probably watch it again, maybe. You never know. And so we're going to check our weather before we head out, and it's going to be a warm week. So yeah, it'd be nice to watch a Miracle on Ice hockey indoors while it's the heat outside. We got high 80s today, and then we get a little bit cooler on Sunday and Monday, just a little bit, only a couple degrees, hardly noticeable, but great temperatures, mid 80s throughout the rest of the week. Going to be nice, cool overnight, so make sure you turn off the air conditioner, open the windows, and let the house cool off. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. Monday on the program, Providence Mission Hospital is going to be here, and also the Publishing Club, so stay tuned for that. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. Remember me? I'm the king of whoopee. And you're watching Village Television. But everybody does.